Hello and welcome to SANPoint Belagavi. This is Priyanka. So today I am here to announce the key answers of PGCET 2022 Civil Engineering question paper. So compare madri, ಎಷ್ಟು marks ಬರ್ತಾವಂತ calculate ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. So as you know, this exam is conducted for 100 marks. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ we have got somewhere around 60 marks numerical itself. So almost all 2 mark questions were numerical. And when we see the difficulty level of the question paper, so it was moderate. Okay, so simple irlilla agadi difficult irlilla, it was little moderate to high. That is, you need the brain to answer the question. So ಆ types of think ಮಾಡಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಗನ ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಇತ್ತು. And before giving the key answers for the questions, I will be discussing the weightage analysis also. ಸೊ ಅದರ ವೇಟೇಜ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಈಗ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಈ ಟೈಮು ಪೇಪರ್ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಒಳಗಿತ್ತು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ವೇಟೇಜ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟಾಗಿ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ಬಟ್ ಈ ಟೈಮ್ ಹಂಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ 14 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು. ದೆನ್ ಜಿಯೋಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ 12 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸು. ದೆನ್ ಸಾಮ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ 18 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇವು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟು ವಿಚ್ ವೇರ್ ಆಸ್ಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 10 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. And if we see building materials and concrete technology 4 marks, and there were no questions from railway engineering. Surveying dintra 4, highway dintra 7, irrigation 8, hydrology 4, RCC and pre-stressed concrete 8, steel structures 5, fluid mechanics and open channel flow 10, structural analysis 5, airport engineering 1. So now nam journey nodidvi andra we have covered all these things. Okay, so till the release, that is ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ we will be covering these 5 points. ಆಮೇಲೆ next video will be on the expected rank with respect to the marks and the number of PG specialization in various engineering college and how to decide upon college and branch after official results announcements by KEA. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಮುಗಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ post result, that is document verification, counseling and admission process. So further you should be waiting for these upcoming 3 videos. So now after understanding the weightage of the subjects asked for Civil Engineering PGCET 2022 exam, now we will try getting the answers for all 100 questions. Okay, so now let's start answering this question paper which is of A2. Okay, and first we will be answering the first 50 questions which will be of 1 mark. So let's read the first question now. In drinking water treatment plant, the purpose of aeration process is to remove. ಸೊ ಏರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ರಿಮೂವ್ ಆಕೈತಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ ಐರನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗನೀಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್. ಸೊ ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ರಿಮೂವ್ ದ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಓಝೋನ್ ಅದು ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರಾಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇವನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸಸ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. Hence option D is correct. Next question. Activated sludge process is. So again it is from environmental engineering. Here the correct answer is it is a suspended growth system. Next question. In wastewater treatment, generally unit operations involve contaminant removal by. So again it is environmental engineering. So here the correct answer is biochemical process. So here even the biological process happens and along with that the chemical process also happens. So ಎರಡು simultaneous ಆಗಿರತ್ತೆ. Hence the correct answer here is option D. Next question. The minimum velocities which is necessary to prevent the grit accumulation is in the range of. So again it is from environmental engineering. Here the correct answer is option C. Next. In activated sludge process which is called as ASP, most of the settled sludge is returned to the aeration tank to maintain. So activated sludge process ಒಳಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, ಅಗೇನ್ ದ activated sludge is recycled, okay, or it is resent back. So why it is done ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ they are asking here for high population of microbes that permit rapid breakdown of the organic compounds. So ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಂತ್ರ process quick ಆಗಿ ಆಕೈತಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ we recirculate the activated sludge here. Again it is from environmental engineering. Next question. For geometric design of highways from cumulative speed distribution curve use. So ನಾವು highway design ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದು. So it is 98th percentile speed which is from highway engineering. Next question. Runway saturation is observed. So it is from airport engineering. Here the correct answer is when the runway is loaded to the full capacity. Next question. Roughness of road can be measured using. Again it is from highway engineering. Here the correct answer is bump integrator. Next. When cement concrete road is loaded at the corner, the critical combination of the stress. So ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಹಳ ಸಲ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ different exams ಒಳಗ. But here we have studied in detail that in cement concrete road, when we consider about the critical combination of the stresses, so we don't consider the frictional stresses. Remember that at the corner. Okay, we consider only the load and the warping stresses. So hence none of them is right in this particular option. So it is not applicable. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ದು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಏನು ಬರಬೇಕು? ಲೋಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾರ್ಪಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್, ಎರಡೇ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಕೈತಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎವ್ರಿವೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫ್ರಿಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಜನರೇಟೆಡ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಈ ಟೈಪ್ ಏನು ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಗ್ರೇಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್. ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲಡ್ SPF ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್. ಏನಿದು? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ the flood that would result from severe combination of meteorological and hydrological factors that are reasonably applicable to the region. Again, this is from hydrology. 11th is also from hydrology. 4 rain gauges in a catchment are so located that each of the rain gauge has Thyssen weight of 0.25. If the annual rainfall recorded in a particular year is 132, 114, 162 and 138 centimeter in these rain gauges, the average rainfall of the catchment of this year is 136.5. So you can see here the solution. Okay, so you can remember. So you can just go through the solutions. I won't be explaining the solutions of the numericals here as it will consume lot of time, but the numericals are solved very neatly stepwise. You can just go through that. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬಂದಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ you can just cross check. Next question. In the head of a canal, 12 cumex of water is released. Before reaching the land, 25% of loss occurred in the transit of the canal. So 25% loss happens. If the duty at the field is 1250 hectare per cumex, the area that can be irrigated is. So incorrect answer, it is 10,000 hectares. So you can see the solution here. Okay, so this is the answer. You can just go through the steps. Okay, next question. An unlined irrigation canal has to carry a full supply discharge of 10 cumex. Assuming Lacey's silt factor as 0.9, the velocity in canal is 0.62 meter per second. So you can see here, this is the answer. Just go through the calculation. Next, the core period and the core depth of a particular crop under a distributary is 2.5 weeks and 19 centimeter respectively. So core period 2.5 weeks aiti, depth 19 centimeter aiti. The outlet factor of the distributary is option B, that is 796 hectare per cumex. So here you see, this is the answer. These are the next question. When the reservoir is full, the maximum compression stress in the gravity dam will be produced at toe. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Okay, ಇಲ್ಲಿ full ಬದಲಿ empty ಅತ್ತಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ then the answer would have been heel. Next question. The maximum shear stress in simple tension or compression will be equal to 1/2 the applied stress and act on planes at 45 degrees to it. Next question. The point of contraflexure in a beam is a point where bending moment changes its sign and bending moment is 0 here. Remember this. Next, in 120 mm wide and 10 mm thick steel plate is bent into the circular arc of 8 meter radius. If Engg's modulus is 200 GPa, the maximum value of stress produced will be. So if you see the solution here, this is the calculation. So it is 125 MPa. So here the correct answer is option D. Next question. A column A is fixed at both the ends and column B is fixed at one end and free at the other end. If both are made up of the same materials having same length and same cross section, then the ratio of Euler's buckling load of column A to column B will be equal to what? So it is 16. You can see the solution here. Okay. So this is the calculation. This is how we will get the answer as 16. Next question. A cast iron pipe of 750 mm diameter is used to carry water under a head of 60 meter. If the permissible stress is 20 MPa, the required thickness of the pipe is option B. Okay, 11.04. So you can see here, this is the calculation. Next question. The ratio of maximum to average shear stress in a circular section will be equal to 4/3. Number of equilibrium equations required for the analysis of coplanar non-concurrent force systems are equal to 3. Next, bending moment diagram due to trapezoidal loading is a degree of what actually? So here the correct answer is 3. Next, as per IS 3495 part 3, when the efflorescence is more than 10% and less than 50% of the exposed area of the brick, it is considered to be what? Moderate. So efflorescence ಎಷ್ಟು percentage cover ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು classify ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So you need to remember the table. Next, the ordinary Portland cement achieves 70% of its final strength in how many days? In 7 days. So that's why we find the compressive strength at the 7 day. Next question. Area of plan of an old map plotted to a scale of 10 meters to 1 centimeter measures 100.2 square centimeter by a planimeter. The plan is found to have shrunk so that a line originally 10 centimeter long measures 9.7 centimeter on the map. The true area on the plan of the map will be equal to 106.50 centimeter square. So you can see here calculation. So this is the solution here. Next question. The focal length of the object glass of a tachyometer is 200 meter. The distance between the vertical axis of the tachyometer and the optical center of the object glass is 100 mm and the spacing between the upper and the lower line of the diaphragm axis is 4 mm. With the line of collimation perfectly horizontal, the staff intercepts are 1 meter top, 2 meter in the middle and 3 meter bottom. The horizontal distance in meters between the staff and the instrument is option A. Okay, so ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಸರ್ವೆ ಒಳಗ if you remember the diagram, then only you will be able to answer these kind of questions. So here this is the solution. Next question. A sheet piling holds seawater of relative density of 1.035 for a height of 3.5 meter. The force due to salt water on the sheet piling, assuming width of sheet piling as 1 meter, specific weight of water as 9.75 is. So force ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ they are asking here. Here the correct answer is option A, that is 62.02 kilonewton. So you can see here, this is the solution. Next question. In a 1:20 model of a spillway, the velocity at a section is 1.5 meter per second. The corresponding velocity in the prototype will be what? So here the correct answer is option C. So you can see. Okay na? Next, the depth of most economical trapezoidal channel carrying discharge 100 meter cube per second with a velocity of 1.25 meter per second is what? So it is 2.149 meter per second. So you can see here, this is the solution. Next question. While measuring head over a rectangular notch, an error 15 mm is committed. If the correct head over the notch is 0.282 meter, what error in discharge is expected due to error in measurement of the head? So here the answer is not matching. Actually we are getting somewhere around 7.9. You can just cross check. Next, shape factor for a rectangular section will be equal to what? It is 1.5. Next, which of the following structural analysis method is force based method? So here the correct answer is option A, that is flexibility method. Next, two hinged arch is, so ಏನಿದು? It is statically determinant to 1 degree. Next, a cable of span L and dip D is subjected to a uniform load W per unit horizontal length. The horizontal component of the tension in the cable is, it is option B. Next, if B is the width and D is the overall depth, the code restricts the area of tension reinforcement as well as the compression reinforcement in beams to the maximum value of, it is 0.04 BD. Next, if all the reinforcing bars in a beam cannot be accommodated in a single layer with the necessary clearance between the bars and the clear cover on the two sides, the wrong option is, so idrolaga wrong option kelaru, here it is, to increase the beam depth. So idu agudilla. In beams where bent up bars are provided, their contribution towards shear resistance as per IS code shall not be more than what? It is 50% of the total shear reinforcement. Next question. In which of the following measures adopted, the bond strength cannot be enhanced? So, edrolaga enhance agudilla. It is larger bar diameter and low grade of concrete are used. Next, the slenderness ratio in a tension member as per IS code where reversal of stress is due to loads other than wind or seismic forces should not exceed. So here the correct answer is 180. Next, the designed compressive stress of an axially loaded compression member in IS 800-2007 is given by option D. Next, IS code recommends the purlins to be designed as option C, continuous beam. The thickness of the base plate is determined from flexural strength of the plate. Next, the clay having the activity of 0.9 is classified as option B. Next, as per IS soil classification system, a soil with liquid limit 80% and plasticity index 20% is classified as option D, MH or OH. You can see here. Okay, so this is the answer. Next, for analyzing stability of slopes in Taylor's method, the stability number of various slope angles can be obtained for, so it is mobilized 5. Next, when the retaining wall moves towards the backfill, the pressure exerted on the wall is called as, so again this is very favorite, towards the wall or away from the wall anta. So here the correct answer is passive earth pressure. Next, the formula recommended by National Board of Fire underwriters for determining the quantity of water required to meet the fire demand is option C. Next, turbidity of water can be measured by using option A. Next, generally economical diameter of the rising main can be determined by using the empirical formula given by Lee. Accordingly, identify this formula from the following. So here it is option B. So these were all the 51 mark questions. Now let's go through 2 mark questions. Okay. In case of RCC columns, minimum longitudinal and maximum longitudinal reinforcement respectively as per IS code are, it is option D, 0.8% and 6%. Next, so this is the calculation. So here the correct answer is this much. So you can see here, you can do the calculation. So next question, a steel wire of 8 mm diameter is used to lift a weight of 1.5 kilonewton at its lower end. If the length of the wire is 100 meter, Eng's modulus is 205 GPa and the density of the wire material is 8000 kg per meter cube. The elongation of the wire is, so here the correct answer is option C. So you can see the calculation here. Okay, 16.47 mm. Fine. Next, a soil has bulk density of 20 kilonewton per meter cube and water content of 16%. If soil partially dries to a density of 18 kilonewton per meter cube and void ratio remains the same, then the water content is, it is option B, 4.4%. You can see here. Okay, so this is the solution. Next, a layer of soft clay is 5 meter thick and lies under a newly constructed building. The weight of soil overlying clayey layer produces a pressure of 250 kilonewton per meter square and a new construction increases the pressure by 100 kilonewton per meter square. If compression index is 0.45, compute settlement. Take water content of 40% and G as 2.65. So here the correct answer is 15.96. So you can see the calculation here. Okay. Next, in water supply to a city, water is conveyed by lifting through pump If the power input required by the pump is 52.1 kilowatt and efficiency of the motor is 90%, estimate the power output of the motor. So here the correct answer is option B. So you can see here. ಸೊ ಇದೇನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಎಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಅಥವಾ ಕನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ದ ಸೇಮ್ efficiency concept in whichever subject you want and you will be getting the same answer only. Next, estimate the settling velocity of spherical silica particle of specific gravity 2.67 in water at 25 degrees Celsius. The diameter of the particle under consideration is 0.004 meter. Take kinematic viscosity at 25 degrees Celsius as 0.09 centimeter square per second. So here we need to calculate the settling velocity and the correct answer is 0.162 centimeter per second. So you can see the calculation here. Okay, next question. A grid chamber is designed to remove particles with a diameter of 0.2 mm and specific gravity 2.65. Flow through velocity is maintained at 0.3 meter per second. Maximum wastewater to be treated 10,000 meter cube per day. Take settling velocity as 0.02 meter per second and now you need to estimate the area required and the width of the section. So here the correct answer is option A. So you can see here, this is the area required and this is the width. Next question. The data corresponding to conventional activated sludge unit. So ivel data kotaru, we need to estimate the aeration period, F by M ratio and the mass of the MLSS. So we can see the calculation here. Okay, so the first one enaitala other the answer 7.47 at R bantu, that is the aeration period. So if we see only this option is correct, hence you can tick mark it straight away without doing the calculation of these two values. Next, for design speed of 65 km per hour, reaction time of 2.5 second and coefficient of friction of 0.35, the required stopping side distance for two-way traffic signal lane road is. So SSD calculate madbek neevu. So you can see here. Okay, here the correct answer is 185.4. Okay, so this one option C. Next question. In a cement concrete pavement, expansion joint is 20 mm wide. Laying temperature is 22 degrees Celsius. Maximum slab temperature is 66 degrees Celsius. The coefficient of thermal expansion is 10 into 10 raised to 6 mm per degree Celsius. Joint filler compression is 40% of the thickness. The spacing between the expansion joint you need to calculate here. So here the correct answer is option A, 18.18 meter. So you can see here, if you do the calculation you will get the length as 18.18 meter. Next question. A 3R unit hydrograph has ordinates of. Okay, so hydrograph mel question aitili. So here the correct answer is 3 Qmax. Okay, so you can see here. Next, a well of 20 centimeter diameter penetrates 30 meter below the groundwater table. Drawdowns measured at 12 meter and 36 meter from the pumped well were 1.2 meter and 0.5 meter respectively. When the pumping rate was 1800 LPM, the transmissibility of the aquifer will be. So here the correct answer is 647.44. So you can see the calculation here, which is 63. So it bardate answer calculation prakara. Here none of them matches, but nearest idaiti atanda you can click this. Okay. Next, a weir on a permeable foundation has a level floor of negligible thickness and 10 meter long in the direction of the flow. At the two ends of the floor, 2.5 meter deep piles are provided. If the effective head of water is assumed as 2 meter, the thickness of flow required at the middle of the level floor is, and assume specific gravity as 2.24. So here the correct answer is 1.07 meters. So you can see here. Okay, go through the calculation. Next question. The analysis of forces on a gravity dam. So ivella data aiti, and here you need to calculate the maximum vertical stresses at the toe of the dam. So here the correct answer will be option C. So you can see here, this is the calculation for this question. Okay. Next, The principal stresses at a point in an elastic material are 60 Newton per mm square tensile, 20 Newton per mm square tensile and 50 Newton per mm square compressive. If Young's modulus is 1 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square and Poisson's ratio is 0.35, the volumetric strain will be, so here the correct answer is 9 into 10 raised to 5. So you can see the calculation. Fine. Next question, the ratio of weights of equal lengths of hollow and solid shaft to transmit a given torque for the same maximum shear stress if the inside diameter is 2/3 of the outside diameter. So here the correct answer is 0.642. So you can see this is a calculation. Okay. So it is little bit lengthy. So this is 0.643. Okay na? Next. What is the yield of concrete per bag of cement for a concrete mix proportion of 1:2:4? So a correct answer, it is option C, that is 0.16 meter cube. So you can see here. Okay, so these are the steps and this is the answer. Fine. Next question. What is the safe bearing capacity of a circular footing of 1 meter diameter resting on the surface of a saturated clay of unconfined compressive strength of 100 kN per meter square? Consider factor of safety 3, NC 5.7. So here the correct answer is option A. You can see here. Okay, so this is the answer. Next, a benchmark has been established in a soffit of a portico had elevation 100 meter. The backside used to establish height of the instrument is an inverted staff reading. So inverted concept which is 2.105 meter. The forward sight reading with normally head staff of 1.105 meter is taken on a plinth of the building. The elevation of the plinth idrolaga kelaru. So here the correct answer is 96.790. So you can see here, these are the steps. So this is the answer. So diagram madkondu ನೀವು answer ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ step wise also you can write an answer. Next, a liquid flows down in a tapered pipe of length 1.5 meter. The pressure at the inlet and the exit are same. The diameter at the inlet is twice the diameter at the exit. The velocities at the inlet and the exit assuming 0. Loss of energy between the inlet and the exit. So it is option B. So you can see here. Okay. So these are the answers. Next question. A discharge of 45 liters per second passes over a rectangular suppressed notch of crust length 0.5 meter. An error of 1.5 mm is committed during head measurement. The percentage error in the discharge, assuming coefficient of discharge of notch as 0.61 is, so here the correct answer is 1.654 percentage. So you can see this is the calculation. This is the answer. Next, a simply supported beam of span L and flexural rigidity EI carries a concentrated point load P at its midspan. The maximum deflection of the beam is, so formula based you need to remember. Here the correct answer is option B. Next, a train of 5 loads. So your question kelaru, the maximum bending moment in the girder. So here the correct answer is option C. You can see the solution here. This is the answer what we have got. Next question, if P is the net upward pressure in an isolated square footing of side L for a square column of side A, the maximum bending moment is given by, so formula based question. Here the correct answer is option A. So hope you have got the answers for almost all the questions. Ena correction ittandre you can leave that in the comment section or you can WhatsApp on 9916085858. So either prakara you just calculate and keep how many marks you are getting, because in another 2 to 3 days of time I will be uploading one more video on what rank you can expect for what marks. So based on that, which college you can expect. So each and everything I will be discussing in the next video. So stay tuned with SANPoint Institute Belagavi for all the updates with respect to any of the exams with respect to civil engineering.